Hi, I'm Amita Gokhale, Executive Coach, and back with my podcast series, Rendezvous, the story of power, passion, and purpose. First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to thank each one of you because the podcast has reached over 500 episode downloads. So, thanks a ton to each one of you who's been encouraging me, downloading it, listening to it, and I'm open to a lot of more of feedback as to how I can make this process more fun, interactive, and enjoyable. Today, I have Dolvin Bhatti, who is a counseling psychologist, NLP master practitioner, fingerprint analysis consultant, and has worked as a clarity coach, career counselor, soft skill and life skill facilitator, and an international trainer. In the past 17 years, she has coached, counseled, and trained over 5,000 individuals with a belief that all resources and answers are within. We just need the right questions to elicit them. Assisting people realize and optimize their innate potential is a driving force for her, and effective communication and connecting with people is a core strength. Designing and delivering interactive workshop is her core skill. Her mission is to calm the muddy waters of confusion and let the real problem, hence the solution, shine through every conversation she has. So let us welcome Dolvin to this rendezvous today.
Hi, Mamita. I am doing well. It is so nice of you to have me here.
Thanks for making time for this conversation on Rendezvous, the story of power, passion, and purpose. Yeah, so my first question to you, Dolvin, is what comes to your mind when you hear these three P's?
Power, passion, and purpose. What used to come to mind was the fact that these are such big terms. They are so magnificent in what they imply and what they hold. And now what comes to mind, as you've grown older, you've studied, you've worked, you've evolved as a human being, as a professional, as a person, what comes to mind is that power is the ability to do what you want or what you need to do. Passion is the focus, the attention with which you do something. And purpose is the reason why you do it. So when I say this, I take it away from that big grand words and concepts that they stand for, and I bring them down to every day. I bring them down to everyone with every activity that they do. What they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. So that is what power, passion, and purpose actually mean for me.
I guess it's very well articulated and very, very concrete. In fact, when I started the podcast series, the entire idea was to make it something that we believe and live in daily. So thanks for bringing it down for each one of us. How have these three played a role in your life?
So, whenever we talk about power, passion, or purpose, nowadays, it's always spoken in terms of what is the purpose of your life? What are you passionate about? Right? And it seems as if it is one big thing. So how they played out in my life is that every day when I am doing something and I have the power or the ability to do it, that is power for me. And every time I can do that with my full attention, and I find peace when I do it. Right? Happiness is a word, is a concept. I want to use the word peace over here. It's a feeling of calmness when I'm doing it. It's just nice doing it. And I have a strong enough reason for doing it. So for me, whenever these three come together, I feel balanced. That's on my everyday thing. And when I see it as a whole, because now that I am grown and I have these many years of experience as a working professional and as an individual under my belt, I feel that in life right now, I have the capability of doing things with my full attention, which bring me peace. And I have a strong enough reason for doing that. And that's in every day. And because it's in every day, it's in my life right now. So when I see it like this, I can talk about these things within you and me right now. I can talk about these things with even a child in, say, class 5, a student, a mother. These are not words restricted or meant only for people who are working or who have found their passion and their purpose in life. So that's the way they have played out in my life, and that's the way I see them playing out in everyone's life. And probably that is what I want to do, seeing them playing out like that in everybody else's life as well.
I like the way you are talking about in terms of even a little kid as 5-year-old has power within, and is also maybe passionate about something and has a purpose, little purpose for that moment or for that period. And that's precisely the intent, that these three words are sometimes put up in such a way that it brings in pressure. The fourth P, oh my God, I am not aware of my purpose, or I should be passionate. And I so echo your thoughts, and thanks. And I'm sure today the listeners would be benefiting with the way you're trying to articulate these three P's. I love the word where you said they are in synergy, all the three P's, and that's worked for you.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, and I'm sure you have come across people too, who may not be in this synergy. So what would you suggest to them? Is there a way that you would suggest, or is there a piece of advice that you want to give them?
Interesting. So if we see these as the stands of a stool on which your life is balanced, right? There are two things that I would say over here about, if I may use the word advice or a suggestion or a point of view probably, is that they feed off one another and they feed one another. So the days I feel that I have the power and the purpose intact and the passion is lacking, the reason for doing it and the fact that I can do it will give me the how of doing it. Yeah. And the day I feel my passion and my purpose is full strong strength and my power is lacking, they will feed that. So they all kind of feed each other. Right? And if everything else is in a confusion, you don't know, then my advice would be, just do it. Just do it. Do whatever you can at that point of time and do it. Because it starts from there. It starts from there, from just doing it. May I share an example over here?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, because we always talk about power and, we talk about purpose and passion, that you need to have a purpose in life and you need to have a passion in life. And power is seen as something which is more of an influence over others. Sometimes a power which these two bring to you. So I might have the passion of, say, exercising. For example, I'm very keenly passionate about exercising. So I could sit and my purpose of being passionate about exercising is health. And I could sit on YouTube or Insta and read books and books and books about exercising and the benefits of exercising. And it's all there because I want to be healthy. So I'll spend my entire day doing that. But till the time I don't have the power to actually go and do it, it's not a choice I'm physically making to do it. My power and passion are not doing much for me, are they? But they are there. And we see that happening often, where we feel very strongly about something and we have a strong reason for thinking about that thing and wanting that thing in our lives, wanting to do that thing, and we find that we're not doing it still. So
I was quiet because I was reflecting on all the things that I would have started, and somehow I have not gone ahead and done it. And I guess the word which is very, very critical when we discuss 3Ps is action, which keeps our passion alive, which keeps the purpose going.
Yeah.
And I love that. Just do it. Yeah.
And that is the power.
Yeah.
And that's the power.
Yeah. How we could get into it. So you spoke about this tool, and I was visualizing, the 3Ps across the three. Although you're saying it's the 3 strands of this tool, do you still see any ranking among the 3Ps? Which one would come first?
Ranking. I wouldn't call them. I would not be able to rank them at all, because it could start from anywhere.
It could start from
because
power.
If these three are not, it could start from power. And because I have the ability to do it, I might do it with full intention and passion, and that might lead to my purpose. And I have the purpose, and I can do it. And because I can do it, I will now do it properly.
So I know. Yeah.
When you're...
Yes, please, go ahead.
So when all of them are together, without any ranking, it could start from anywhere. Then when one of them is on a lower ebb, then you can either search for the reason why it is on a lower ebb, and that gives you an indication of that may not be of that much of importance in your life. And that's how these 3 will come up as that bigger terms that we talk about in my day-to-day things.
Yeah.
From there, it will emerge.
Yeah.
I will not just walk into it one day. It will emerge.
Yeah. Yes, I guess that's why I've put up this question, because I am also sometimes unable to say, okay, is passion first or purpose first or power first? Because I think there is a game that goes on between the 3, and, we as selves, we pick and choose as to what's driving me at this moment, and we take it ahead, and the other 2 Ps kind of get aligned to it. Now, maybe with you, and I like the way you started the conversation saying, earlier it was big things, and now at the stage of life that possibly we are, things are much more simpler, and they are like, falling in place. But there are a lot of youngsters, still looking in awe. What would you tell them? How can they unleash the 3Ps?
Yeah, okay. And that is exactly why, I'm so glad you got that about initially, because we've all been young, and when we talk about power and especially purpose and passion, it's the older, if I may use that word, older amongst us who kind of talk about it more passionately. So the youngsters might feel confused, disheartened, listless, thinking that, I don't have a purpose in life, right? And might feel that till the time I don't have that purpose and I don't figure out that purpose in life, how can I, have passion, and how will I ever do it, right? Because it's seen as a one thing. However, these 3Ps stand in every aspect of our lives. As a working professional, as a person in a relationship, whatever that might be, in all the roles that we play, in my hobbies, in my interaction with the universe. So you call that spirituality, you call that religion, whatever suits you well. So for the youngsters, if you haven't identified your passion, your power your purpose yet. If you haven't identified your purpose yet, whatever you're doing right now, do it with full attention. And whenever you're doing whatever you're doing with full attention, with the full mindfulness of it, it will dawn onto you what brings you peace. And slowly, when you realize that things are bringing you peace, you will start seeing the purpose will start to emerge. Don't wait for, if you're not doing it completely, if you're not doing it mindfully, if you're not doing it with full attention, you will never know whether if it is working for you or not working for you. Even for you to know that it is not working for you, you need to give it that full attention. And then the purpose will eventually emerge. Is my belief.
I was trying to give full attention, and it is, to be in the moment. And that's what we have been talking. And as coaches and facilitators, I do tell people, and every time we are in the moment, there's a different experience altogether, right? So true. I like the first word you used, action. And now I think my takeaway with this is be there, be in the moment, give full attention. Yeah. Having said so, there are still people who come across, and I'm sorry for pushing it here, that, there's a question which comes in, is it necessary to have a purpose? I don't feel I need to have a purpose. What would you tell them?
Okay. First question would be, I don't need to have a purpose. Now, is that again a broad term that you're using as a purpose of life? Or is it the purpose of everything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
So the understanding, that is, exactly. The person would talk about every day he has, but maybe a long-term purpose.
A long-term purpose, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so now some of us are wired to have very long-term plans. We can make them and see them and visualize them. And some of us are wired not to have very long-term plans. That's just the way we are wired, right? Like for me, I have bigger purpose in life, and 15 years from now, what I'll be doing, I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now, as long as that makes me feel in control and I have the power and the passion to do it. So do I need to have a passion? Do I need to have a purpose? If that is holding you back for giving your best in the moment right now, then you don't need to have it as a whole. But do you need to have a purpose of doing what you're doing right now? Oh yes, of course. And the dots will eventually connect. Because every action that you take has a purpose. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. Be mindful of that small action purpose.
Yes, please.
So it's not as if it's a whole big thing that you have to figure out. Do I have to have it? Even if you don't, it's all right. But in your moment right now, for that stool for you to be sitting on and not falling off, oh yes, you need to have it right now for that action that you're doing.
Yeah, I think this bit will help a lot of us who get overwhelmed, as to trying to search the overall purpose, and also feel pressurized, which I started the conversation with, in terms of a lot of people in today, when we talk, I'm aware of my purpose. Some people who are not aware may feel a little lost in that. And I think this helps a lot, Dolvin. Thank you so much for that. Last but not the least, your 2 cents when we talk of power, passion, and purpose.
Okay. My 2 cents would be that see it as if you are in a vehicle. The power is the engine. The purpose is the fuel. And the passion is the way you are driving it. Right? You will always have the engine. And even if you don't realize, the fuel is there always. Because what use is a vehicle without the fuel? But it is you in the driver's seat as to how you choose to use the engine and the fuel of this beautiful vehicle that you have, which is life. So that is the way I would say it. So do whatever you need to do, because you're doing it already, whether you're sleeping, you're lying down, you're actively involved in something. Do it that with the passion that it deserves. And don't keep waiting for the bigger purpose to come. Find the purpose, and it will be there. So you are in the driver's seat. You have it all. Just be mindful of how you're doing it.
I was just ready to switch on the engine and go out on a drive right now after the conversation, Dolvin. I think that's a very, very inspirational. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and perspectives on the 3Ps.
Thank you, Momita, for having me over for this opportunity for me to speak on these so important points. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was a power-packed conversation with Dolvin, and I really like the way she has practically put it back to us that it is the action that we take, and every action with a purpose makes sense for a better life. So guys, you are the driver of your life. Make the best of the opportunity. Thank you for listening to us.